Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm Iain.
And today we're taking a look at Streets of Rage 2, which came out on the 20th of December in 1992.
Wow.
Developed and published by Sega and released pretty much on the Sega Genesis and the Master System. Although today it's pretty much available everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, the 3DS, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation Network. You know, if you've got any device that's gaming, you know, this game, thankfully, is available today.
Yes.
And I chose Streets of Rage 2 over the 3 Streets of Rage games. This one was always my favourite of the series.
Yeah.
Of course, the series was known as Bare Knuckle. And, you know, Streets of Rage 1, 1991, and this one, 1992, and Streets of Rage 3, 1994.
Streets of Rage 1, classic.
Yeah, absolute classic, and they are very simple games in their premise. They are arcade beat-em-ups.
Side-scrolling beat-em-ups,
Side-scrolling beat-em-ups, which, you know, it was pretty much the mid-90s which saw the decline in this genre of gaming, and side-scrolling beat-em-ups kind of lay dormant for quite a while. It's only really been with like the indie resurgence of games in the modern times that's really brought back the style. It's kind of, it's always been there, but just it kind of lost its luster. And I think games companies, even though they knew that they had good franchises, didn't really know how to take this format into the next generation of consoles that were coming.
Yeah.
Because Streets of Rage 4 was being developed at some point. It was called Streets of Rage 3D, and they were looking at developing this for the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
Of course, Shinobi and Golden Axe had transcended from the Genesis or the Mega Drive into the Saturn, and both of those games were... yeah, they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Golden Axe carried on. Even I remember playing it on the 360, and it was the worst iteration I'd ever seen of Golden Axe. And so it was like, I'm kind of glad that Streets of Rage didn't transcend into the next generation and we got shit games. We didn't get shit Streets of Rage games, so it's kind of still there. It's kind of protected almost. I do find it interesting that the Streets of Rage 3 that was being made, eventually sort of the character concepts and artwork went on to become Fighting Force
on the PlayStation. Yeah,
on the PlayStation 1, and that was pretty much, if you look at a video of Fighting Force, just type in Fighting Force game and have a look at it, you'll pretty much see that it is Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
but it's in the 3D open space sort of fighting combat style. And it was an interesting game. The fighting style, if you were a fan of Streets of Rage, you would easily pick up Fighting Force and get straight into it.
Yeah, you were just running around just smashing the crap out of everything, which was pretty much the basis for Streets of Rage.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, you know, Streets of Rage 3D became that. But then Sega still kept looking at Streets of Rage. They knew it was a franchise that would sell on almost name alone. And they ended up developing new ideas for Streets of Rage, and they were turning it into a first-person fighting game.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And eventually that fell to the wayside as well. And some people speculate that coding for one of those Streets of Rage games eventually made it into the Die Hard trilogy. The Nakatomi Plaza building has some initial coding that came from a Streets of Rage game that never happened. So it's kind of interesting to see what happened to it. And obviously, well, Sega still around. I don't know if they still own Streets of Rage. I don't think we'll probably ever see a continuation.
Nintendo owned Sega, and so Sega could only do it if there was a massive interest for it.
I can't really see Nintendo releasing a game where you can walk into a bar, kick over a table, grab a knife, and start shanking people. I don't really see that in Nintendo in the future.
Well, they can if it plays right for them.
Yeah. So, you know, what I also found interesting, just like one of the other features to talk about in Streets of Rage 1, was that it had sort of 2 endings.
Yeah.
Now, when you got to the ending, Mr. X is sort of the main villain, and he asks you, I think, whether to join him.
Yeah.
And you're literally given a yes or no option, and if you say yes, you kind of fall through a trapdoor, go back, I think, to stage 6 and have to fight your way all the way up to him again and fight him again and then just say no.
Yeah.
And then fight him and kill him and win the game. But if you play the first game in 2-player and you get to the end and one of you says yes and the other one says no,
you have to fight.
then you have to fight each other, and then you get a different ending. And Streets of Rage 2 pretty much is a straightforward linear story.
Yeah.
Which takes place 1 year after Streets of Rage 1, where Mr. X and his crime syndicate that was defeated come back, and they have captured Adam Hunter, who was a playable character in the first game,
yeah,
alongside Blaze Fielding and Axel Stone. And I'm pretty sure all three of them were in the police force.
Yeah,
and
they were cops that got fired from their job because they got too close to Mr. X.
Yeah.
And so then they'd gone on their own vigilante crime spree
to bring them down.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was, again, very simplistic story. It served as the backdrop for a great beat 'em up.
Yeah.
The story in this game is that, yeah, Mr. X has returned and they have captured Adam, and this time Eddie Hunter, also known as Skate, comes home, finds he's been taken and that Mr. X is back, and he goes back and he finds Blaze, who has now become a dance teacher.
Right.
And he finds Axel, who's now a bodybuilder, and Axel gets his friend Max, the professional wrestler, known as Max Thunder. And you can just see, I was looking at him earlier and I was like, he looks like he's dressed like a superhero. You know, the spandex kind of pants, the big boots, and no top.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like, is this guy going to find a top that fits him in this universe? But then later on, you get to a wrestling area and you fight a wrestler who's actually even bigger than Max. You're like, okay, there's some freakishly giant people in this universe.
For some reason, I always imagined Max as being a bit slow. I always imagined him and Eddie being quite close. You know, for Eddie's small stature is Skate.
Yeah.
And then he's got Max, this big behemoth goon
who just kind of carries him on his shoulders.
Beats the crap out of everything.
Yeah. Interestingly, Streets of Rage 3 mixed up the formula a little bit and added in lots of different endings.
Yeah.
And but for me, it did away with the characters that I liked in this game, and they introduced a character called Dr. Zand.
Yeah, he was a robot guy with cybernetic arms.
Yeah, and every time he picked up a weapon, he sort of turned it into energy. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
All of the weapons that you picked up broke almost instantly and really required you to sort of do combo moves with the weapons in order to actually get the major benefit out of it. They also added guns, which literally had like 1 or 2 shots and then they were gone.
That was it.
It was like, And they also made it a lot harder. I also enjoyed this game the most because this was the one that I managed to actually complete the most, growing up in my childhood playing Sega Genesis games. And, I played this along with Golden Axe and all the others, and it was always a tie-in between Golden Axe 2 and Streets of Rage 2.
Nice.
Those were our preferred games, and this game did amazingly well. When it came out critically, like I said, it sold near enough on name alone. The scores were like 90% and up. The game was getting perfect review scores, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, selling on name alone.
Selling on name alone, but also with the fact that each game just consistently upped the craftsmanship. It literally pushed the Sega Mega Drive to its limits.
Yeah.
In terms of what it was doing with its pixel count, with its colors, and especially with its music. Honestly, the Streets of Rage trilogy of soundtrack is fantastic.
Yeah, the synthesizers.
Well, yeah, it has an electronic dance house sort of techno feel to it,
and it works.
It absolutely works. It kind of works like as if you were in a 90s nightclub, or on a video game. It made people become aware of what Sega were actually doing. I can't remember the Japanese composer's name who did the music, but he set a standard for music in video games with the Streets of Rage soundtrack. It's just absolutely awesome. It doesn't go for easy listening. You can't just listen to the Streets of Rage soundtrack on its own. But if somebody played you just a few seconds of any of the stages from Streets of Rage, you would instantly know. You might not know which one it was from, but you would know it's a Streets of Rage soundtrack as soon as you heard it, especially if you're a fan of the games, especially. So yeah, so some of the other characters were missing from Streets of Rage 3, like the Max character.
Yeah, he wouldn't go on to number 3, which kind of annoyed me.
He only turns up if you get the best ending. He literally turns up as a cameo, alongside Adam, who literally only has a cameo within the story.
See, I remember in the third one, you could actually defeat certain bosses and then keep them as secret characters.
Yes, there was a kangaroo, I believed, that you could unlock as a playable character, and I think the Japanese version, I think it was for this one actually, Streets of Rage 2, it added a character called Sammy, who was the sister instead of the brother of Adam, and so I guess the Japanese just wanted more female characters. Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, if you've never played a Streets of Rage game, you know, I would suggest starting with the second one. You know, you can then go and look at Streets of Rage 1 and 3. Maybe just start with the first one and play them through. Yeah, but I think a lot of people that have grown up playing video games would have at least heard of this game by now, or at least come across it and played it.
Yeah.
And you can just enjoy the sheer simplicity of the gameplay. You know, the first game, you could call in, your superpower was to call in
the police cars with the minigun and the rocket launcher.
It was very familiar to Golden Axe. And in this one, it's more a case of you can do these moves, they drain your health.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit more realistic, I guess.
It got a bit more tactical in this one, because instead of having just one special ability you could pull off, you had multiple, but like you said, it drained your health.
Yeah, so you've got to know when to use it.
Yeah, and you want to save it for the bosses, but then some of the bosses are resilient to those moves. Some are heavier, some are faster, some do projectile attacks.
I often found myself saving, or trying to at least pick up the turkey before a boss encounter, and then just spamming my special move, draining my own health, but to do as maximum damage as I could, and then lose a life. Just be like, console yourself to losing lives.
Yeah, because you're going to defeat the boss and move to the next one.
Yeah. Now, I've said that this was the easier game of them all to complete. In my childhood, I only ever really completed it on easy.
Yeah.
I did challenge myself into normal difficulty and often got quite far. And then occasionally played on hard mode just to see how more difficult it was, and that was when I realized that the game was only, you know, making the amount of damage they did to you more, and the amount of health bars that the enemies would have, and it was just like, you know, you can only get so far. And so then you start figuring out that there are hidden items hidden in the level. And I've pointed out to you before, like right on the very first starting stage, there's a hidden one-up in the bottom left corner. There's also when the artwork or the imagery starts to obscure the bottom of the screen and you disappear underneath it. The developers often or not hide swords, one-ups, and turkeys sort of underneath it.
Sneaky little bastards.
Whenever your character moves off the screen, you're just going to keep tapping the button to see if there's anything there to pick up to help you. And there is quite a few items which will help you on the harder difficulties. But yeah, I remember repurchasing the game on the 360 and playing it again.
Yeah.
And the game adding achievements. And it was like, wow, I could never imagine playing Streets of Rage with achievements, but those achievements were essentially the challenges.
Just completed the game.
It was completing the game and getting high scores, which meant you needed to, you know, chain combos against enemies and not take hits and try and complete it with the best time. Not take, because you obviously at the end of each level you get rewarded for how much health you've got left.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty grueling, and I think I gave up because interestingly, adding, you know, emulation software or purchasing it again on the modern consoles, they added the save button or a save feature, so you could stop the game and save it anywhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't have that luxury on the
Back
Mega
in the
Drive.
day.
You literally just had to play through the game again. So it's kind of a way of grinding achievements for challenges, but it's not really earned that way. And so I kind of just stopped doing it because it took the fun out of it.
That was the same for me. I completed Altered Beast on the Capcom collection.
Yeah.
And I was so happy I did it, but the fact I'd had to save it and loaded it up so many times, took the thrill away from it for me.
Yeah. So the replayability was kind of there, and one of the other great features about the game was it was 2-player.
Oh, he's joining in.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, where the hell have you been, Blaze?
Teaching girls how to dance. I'm a dance teacher now. I'm retired.
Oh, you
I
got
kinda-
your special abilities on.
Yeah, have I? I'm trying to remember the buttons. It's been.
So you got your punch button and then you got your jump button. If you do those two together, you do your special
Man, I always
non-life draining
remember,
ability.
not to be pervy, but I always remember that there was a gratuitous upskirt shot whenever Blaze used to jump and kick. And
You're trying to look up Blaze's skirt.
I'm trying to look up Blaze's skirt, yeah. No, I think it's been removed. I don't know. I don't know if it was different versions of the game.
So you got to
It's a
remember,
Japanese again.
the friendly fire is on. So if we stand too close together, we will grab each other and start hitting each other.
Yes.
So you've always got to aim to tactically stay away.
It's like, I will take the left side of the screen, you take the right side of the screen.
Yeah.
Or I'll take the top side, you take the bottom side. Or I'll just stand over here and watch you just kill everything. I'm trying to remember, because I found with the harder difficulties that there was sort of a good combination of buttons to press.
Yeah.
So that you could lock enemies into an endless loop.
Yeah, it's kind of like you get
It's like
the
if
punch combo, then you grab them, then you get a couple more punches in.
Yeah.
And then if you jump, you can flip over them.
Alright, this guy's slapping me around. You need
I
to
can
help
give
me
him a
out.
slap as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that little fireball, I think, is Blaze's
That's
actual
what
life draining
special.
ability.
Yes, yeah, I can see I've lost half my health by just spamming it into nothing.
Well, somebody needs the next turkey.
Yeah, I was just trying to smash those barrels, but I'm like, no, it's the wooden crates.
Oh man, I just got caught up in a massive combo.
Oh,
He goes for the uppercut.
I was trying to remember how I'm pretty sure she has a low sweep move.
If you tap forward twice, you go into like a run.
She does, yeah, she does the cartwheel attack, which I found really useful against some bosses. I think it's like the women later on that turn up with the electric whips.
Yeah.
I think some are good for jump attack, and then others to use that combo attack.
Oh, watch out for these ninjas.
Yep. Oh, what a sword.
And go for the green one.
I've locked him in. Nope.
Come here, Mr. Green.
It's all about trying to get him into that pattern. Throwing stars to the face. I can't remember. Do we share lives and continues? I think we do in 2-player mode.
Well, you've got 3 at the top. I've got 6. I think because I started. That's just something that's annoying as well. If you're carrying a weapon at the end of the level, you don't carry it into the next part.
Yeah.
So you've always got to try and use them all up.
Oh, wrong button. I'm pretty sure there was a secret back there.
Let
go! Just holding your head into my chest.
I've just noticed how much health I've got as well. I need an apple.
Right.
Apple here.
Uppercut to the crotch.
On a normal playthrough, I normally would get to the
I need the apple
baseball
now.
the baseball
the
mound
cake.
in the middle of this level.
Oh, I thought I was going to
Did you
punch
get
it
it?
right in the back. Then yeah, I got it. Yeah, he took the knife. He's going to throw another knife.
Get the knife guy. She's dead. Give him a slap, Blaze. Get in there.
So what would you prefer? And do you prefer Golden Axe or Streets of Rage? Which one are you? If you had to choose.
Oh, see, I prefer Streets of Rage over Golden Axe, but I do really enjoy Golden Axe 3 over Streets of Rage 3.
Yeah.
Mainly because in the Golden Axe they started to expand a little bit more on the characters and the dynamic of the levels. So it wasn't as straightforward as, say, Streets of Rage.
Right.
You know, Streets of Rage is just literally start here, end here, kill every boss along the way.
Yeah.
With Golden Axe, they just added in a few extra choice turns on the map.
Yeah.
This level, though, has always been a fun level to come to.
No, okay.
Is it down here? Did you get it? Yeah.
No, I think the one I'm thinking of, the secret is literally underneath the boss. Oh,
Watch
be
out.
careful of those. Yeah, they
Yeah.
explode.
And get turkey.
Oh, about to cut you
I'm
in
staying
two
at the
then.
bottom. I'm staying at
Right.
the bottom.
Boom, boom, boom.
But when it comes to Mega Drive games, yeah, I usually like to jump back and forth too.
Yeah. Well, there's something so satisfying about just the punches and the sound effects as well. You know, the end music when you get all of the points counting up, it just feeds you. It's just kind
Yeah.
of that. It's like, you know, slot machine sound effects when you win. It's just like, and then like I said, the soundtrack, yeah, coupled with the great sound effects. it's a little bit moreish.
That's it. I suppose.
But I will say that when I do replay the game, I can only ever replay it for one sitting, see how far I get. I can't really bring myself to play it for ever more than an hour before it does outstay its welcome today.
Yeah.
It's the nostalgia is still massively there for it, but yeah.
Just to complete it, just to be able to play through, complete it, and say, hey, I completed Streets of Rage, and then it's done. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so I think we've got the weird-looking boss. I mean, I don't really know how this fits into everything else that's going on. The vigilantism and
we came to a theme park.
Yes.
And the crime syndicate controls the theme park. So I guess this is a ride.
Now I'm pretty sure you can smack this thing into the corner off the screen and then just keep smacking it until it's dead.
Yeah, it's got.
I'm gonna cheese it. Keep smacking it.
Cheese it.
Okay, I'm missing it.
Where
there we go. You're hitting me.
Oh shit.
Oh, double whammy. I'm getting out of the way. Oh, I still got a hit.
It's on you. Over yet.
Hit it.
I'm trying to.
Hit
it's
it.
not even the right angle.
Right, that's it. I got it. Stay back, Max. I haven't got it.
I stayed back.
No.
Gotcha.
There we go.
What?
What's
going on?
Let go.
Oh. Well,
I couldn't let go.
See, that's where rivalries start up. That's why you can never
so,
complete the games.
Yeah, very easily can get into arguments. Alright, I'll let you grab the sword. You grab the sword.
I gotta get the ninja first. Those ninjas. Oh, good.
I'm just gonna spam them.
Oh, boss. Boss time.
Yeah, actual boss. It's kind of like, what's it called from Street Fighter? Blanca?
Yeah, it's like cross between Blanca and those claws make me think of Voldo from Soul Calibur.
Oh shit, I picked up the target, I didn't mean to.
That's alright, just kick his ass.
No, I'm just getting thrown about. Now how do I throw the... Oh, there we go.
Nice.
I threw it.
Kick his ass! Nice.
I just got to egg lay into him now.
Yeah,
Almost got him.
Yes!
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we have it, folks. I'm going to say absolutely check out Streets of Rage. If you've never played Streets of Rage and you're a fan or just want to play something from the classic era of gaming and you don't know what to pick.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Streets of Rage. If you see it really cheap on the PlayStation Network or on the Xbox Store, it's definitely worth a few pounds and an hour or so of your time just to appreciate the classic.
Yeah, the whole trilogy is really good. Even if you don't play them all the way through and complete them, there's stuff in the first one which is unique. The music for the second level in the first one I always love.
Yeah.
This one's got Max, who is just an awesome character to play as. And then in the third one where you get to defeat the bosses and then play as the bosses.
Yeah.
So many unique features for all the games. Fighting Force, yeah, if you get the chance you want to play it.
To see the evolution of it in a way. Yeah.
It's fun,
the spiritual ancestor of.
The animation in this game, in all three games, just
like I said,
brilliant.
it's beautifully simplistic. The artwork, the music, the level designs. You remember the stages, the bosses. I remember the elevator battle sequence towards the end of the game. The beach level. Remember the crazy ladies with the electronic whips.
Yeah.
The massive guys with aerosol can fire breathing.
Yeah, breathing out fire. Yeah.
It's just it's so memorable. It's so memorable.
And there's something really satisfying about hitting people in the faces with poles.
Yes, the sound effects are so rewarding. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next Friday with another video game. Of course, film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
Take it easy.